Hi, I'm Andy Bloch. In the world of poker, you often hear that there are two types of players. Those who play by intuition and the math geeks. But the truth is, even the most intuitive players need to have a sound understanding of the mathematical concepts that surround poker. There's no way to be a successful winning player if you don't have this understanding. There's only one thing we're going to cover in this lesson, and that's expected value, or EV, or what some people call equity. After that, I'll offer some ways to gauge your EV by calculating pot odds using player-specific math and understanding implied odds. Expected value, or EV, is the amount that you're going to win in the long run with the hand that you have against the range of hands your opponent may have, given all the possible scenarios, the turns and river cards that can come up in your hand. Ultimately, EV is the most important thing in poker because in poker your goal is to win in the long run, not to win one specific hand, but to maximize the amount of money you win in the long run. In the short run, you may lose a hand or two, you may go on a losing streak, but ultimately, if you want to win in the long run, you have to make positive expected value plays over and over again, and you will get there. Let's look at expected value in action in a real-world example. Suppose it costs you $1 to park at McCarran International Airport for 1 hour, and you know that the parking attendants only come around once a day to give out parking tickets. And as long as the parking ticket is less than $24, your best play in this situation is not pay the parking meter. Take the risk that you get the parking ticket. If a ticket is $20 and you only get one a day on the average, then in an hour it's going to cost you 83 cents on the average to risk getting a parking ticket instead of paying $1 for the parking meter. So you've made 16 cents in EV by not paying the parking meter. In the short run, you may lose $20 by getting a ticket, but if you do this over and over again, you'll make money. You'll save 16 cents every hour. Now, 16 cents is a small amount, but in poker, 16% is a big advantage. And if you make the right decisions every time when you have that kind of advantage, you should win in the long run. Now, EV can be hard to calculate because you have to assume a lot of things. So there are some shorthand ways of calculating EV that apply to certain situations. And the first one I'm going to talk about is pot odds. So pot odds is a simple calculation. You look at all the money that's in the pot. That includes the pot and your opponent's bet. And compare that to how much it is for you to call that bet. Now, let's look at an example of a pot odds calculation. So here you have a flush draw that gives you 9 outs to win. That means your odds of winning the pot are about 4 to 1 against you. There are 9 cards that help you against 35 cards that don't. 35 to 9 is about 4 to 1. So you need better than 4 to 1 pot odds, more than 4 to 1 pot odds for you to be able to call. So what pot odds are you getting? Your opponent bet 500, making the total pot 1,500. So you have to call 500 to win 1,500. 1,500 divided by 5 is 3. You're only getting 3 to 1 pot odds. You need to get 4 to 1 pot odds for it to be correct to call. So in this situation, to maximize your expected value, you should fold your flush draw. Now let's look at an example of a pre-flop pot odds calculation. Here you have pocket nines pre-flop. You make a standard 3 times a big blind raise, and an opponent with 2,000 chips moves all in. Everybody else folds to you, and now you have a decision to make. It's going to cost you $1,400 more to call his all in. The total pot is $2,900. So that means you have a little bit better than 2 to 1 pot odds to call here.